Having fresh herbs at arm's reach can make any dinner even better. So what we're going to do today is plant a raised bed herb garden. You want to make sure that you locate your garden bed in a really sunny location because most herbs need full sun, and that's at least 6 hours of sunlight a day to grow their best. You also want to make sure that you locate it near a water source because it's going to make watering a lot easier. Now, if those two spots are ideal and they're off your back door right near your kitchen, it's going to make harvesting herbs for your dinner even easier. First thing you want to do is lay out your herbs and how you want them in your bed. Now, the great thing to do is to take the plant tag and look on the back to see how big this plant will get when it's mature, so you know how much room to give it in your garden bed. This basil, for example, needs about 18 inches, so we want to make sure that we allot for 18 inches for this plant when we plant it. When you arrange your plants, you want to put your taller stuff in the middle and towards the back, and then your trailing stuff along the edges so that it can trail over the edge of your bed. Once you get your plants all spaced and you're happy with where they are, it's time to start planting. So I make a little indentation so I know where the plant's going to go, and I set it aside. And I dig out the hole, and because this is nice and loose soil, I'm just going to use my hands. You can also use a digging trowel if you want. I'm going to carefully unplant or unpot my basil. Loosen the roots a little bit and then put them in the planting hole and then fill in. Now, I always like adding the plant tag so I remember what it is. So you notice that this peppermint here is actually planted in a different plant. It's a great tip when you're growing mint, because if you've ever grown mint before, and if you haven't, here's a great tip. Mint is really aggressive and it will spread. And if I don't keep it contained, it will take over this whole bed. So what we're going to do is we've actually planted it in another pot, and we're going to bury this mint, pot and all. And that will help keep it contained in this bed. And then once it's all planted, we give it a nice thorough soak, watering each herb at the base of the plant. So planting my herb garden was that easy. Now I'll come back and check it every couple days to make sure it doesn't need water. And a great easy trick to make sure or check whether your bed needs water or not is to take your finger and stick it into the knuckle. If it's dry, it's time to water. If it's still wet, I can wait another day. To make sure my herbs keep growing and are happy, in a couple weeks I'll come back and I'll start feeding them regularly throughout the entire season. And that includes the summer months. I'll let these guys settle in for a couple weeks, and then I'll come out and start harvesting herbs for my dinner.